Have you ever gotten that feeling that the internet just knows you? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and uncover the web's secret memory. We're going to find out exactly how websites seem to remember who you are from one click to the very next. I mean, think about it for a second. You're online shopping, you've got your cart loaded up with all kinds of stuff, and then, oops, you accidentally close the browser. But when you go back, everything's still right there. How does that happen? It's not magic, but you know what? It's some seriously clever tech. So, to get how the trick works, you gotta understand the fundamental problem. By its very nature, the web is what we call stateless. Just imagine a web server is a person with absolutely no short-term memory. Every single time you click a link or a button, it looks at you like you're a total stranger. It has zero idea who you were just 1 second ago. So, how do you build a relationship with a server that's so forgetful? Well, turns out developers came up with a couple of brilliant solutions.
Okay, solution number 1 is something called a session. This is basically the server's way of fighting against its own forgetfulness. It decides, you know what, I'm going to keep some notes on you, at least for a little while.
The big idea here is actually pretty simple. A session is kind of like a temporary file folder that the server creates just for you, and only for you. While you're browsing the site, it jots down important info, like, say, your username or what's in your shopping cart, and it sticks it right in that folder. Now, here's the really crucial part. All of this information lives on the server, not on your computer.
Let's just walk through how this whole thing works, from start to finish. When you first show up, the server kicks off a session. As you poke around the site, it stores little bits of information, like your username. That data is then available on any page you visit on that site. And finally, when you log out or just close your browser, the server basically shreds those notes. Poof, the session is destroyed. It's a temporary memory, built just for that one visit.
All right, I know this might sound a little abstract, so let's make it real with something we all do pretty much every single day, logging into a website.
So, first things first, you see the welcome mat, that login form we all know so well. You type in your username, your password, and you hit that submit button. That's your side of the digital handshake.
So what's happening behind the scenes? Well, the server is acting kind of like a bouncer at a club. It checks your name and password against the list, and if everything checks out, it opens the door and starts a session, just for you. It basically puts a stamp on your hand that says, logged in user. Now, for the rest of your time on this site, as you go from page to page, the server knows exactly who you are, no questions asked.
But what if a website wants to remember you for longer than just one visit? What about next week or next month? Well, that brings us to solution number 2, cookies. And the best way to think of a cookie is like your own personal digital ID card.
Right, so here's the huge difference. Unlike a session, which is stored way over there on the server, a cookie is a tiny little text file that the server asks your web browser to store on your computer. It's a little token of remembrance that you carry around with you in your digital wallet.
And its life cycle is pretty straightforward. First, the server creates the cookie and just hands it over to your browser. Your browser then tucks it away for safekeeping. Then, the next time you visit that same website, your browser automatically pulls out that cookie and shows it to the server. It's just like flashing your ID card at the bouncer. And of course, the server can also tell your browser when to get rid of it, usually just by setting an expiration date.
And this really gets to the heart of it all. At the end of the day, a cookie's main job is to identify you. It's the simple, elegant little mechanism that lets a server say, oh hey, I remember you. You were here last week, right?
Okay, so we've got sessions living on the server and cookies hanging out on your computer. Let's put them side by side, head to head, and really nail down the key differences.
This table really sums it all up perfectly. So first, let's talk about where the data is stored. Sessions, they live on the server. Cookies, they live on your computer. Okay, what about how long they last? Sessions are pretty temporary. They're gone when you close your browser. Cookies, on the other hand, can stick around for a specific amount of time, sometimes for years. And that's why sessions are best for sensitive stuff, like your login status, while cookies are fantastic for non-sensitive things, like your personal preferences. You know, like if you prefer dark mode.
So, why does any of this techie stuff actually matter? Well, because this incredible combination of server-side memory and a client-side ID card is what powers the modern, personalized web that we use every single day.
Now, you might be thinking of these as two competing technologies, but they're not. They're actually a team.
In fact, most of the time, a session uses a cookie to do its job. The server gives your browser a cookie that has a unique session ID in it. Then your browser shows that ID card with every single request, which tells the server exactly which file folder, which session belongs to you. See? They work together in perfect harmony.
And this amazing partnership enables all the little things we just take for granted. Staying logged into your email for weeks on end? That's a cookie. An online store remembering what was in your shopping cart? That's a session. Websites that greet you with "welcome back" or remember that you like dark mode. You guessed it. That's the powerful duo of sessions and cookies, right there at work. So, there you have it. That's the secret. That's how the incredibly forgetful, stateless web uses sessions and cookies to create those personalized experiences we've all come to expect. The only question left is, with technology changing all the time, what will the web remember about us next?